Sergio Show!
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Sergio Dominguez with a Season 18 commentary for The Sergio Show. Alright, so we start this season off with a third episode of me trying to go to the bathroom. Haha, yeah. So yeah, this is the third installment of me trying to go to the bathroom. The first two were very visual, and I wanted to be like that, but I knew this was going to be a trilogy, so for the third one, I was like, let me explain it. Explain the whole meaning of everything and why this series of episodes came to be. And, you know, it's pretty much what it is. It's all improvised. I think I recorded this in my portable recording device, where I explained the episode, and it's not, honestly not, it wasn't written at all. I just said what I felt in this one, which is obvious about the whole joke, about bathroom humor, toilet humor, and what I was trying to do in the episodes, where I try to relate to people with the expression of going to the bathroom and how intense it is and how you feel and how gross the gross out joke is. So this episode and this commentary is pretty explanatory. But I still want it to be visual like the previous two, but, you know, done differently. So there is a lot of like drawings and doodles that appear either in a cycle or a static graphic while I explain. So that's how this episode was coming out. But there is a joke that I love very much in here that I think we will see later on. So let me just check something here. Oh yeah, so this was recorded in my portable recording device, and the audio is good, but I did have to modify it a little bit. It's not as good as the blue microphone, which you are listening to right now, but it's still good, and it does require a little bit more editing to make it sound even more clear. But that's how for this one, that's how I record it off of, because I want it to be a little bit more cozy when I record it. But there's going to be a joke coming up that I really like that has some hand-drawn animation to it. And not only that, but it does have a little bit of a history to this whole series of episodes. And that is, for a long time, I don't know if I said this before, but originally it was going to be done with the perspective of my intestines, my guts, every organ that's part of the digestive system would have a cartoony eyes and face and personality. And also that pixelation is a different special effect. I'm like, first two, I had to, for the most part, block it with camera angles and camera positioning. But I was like, okay, I gotta show it, but it still has to be somehow censored. So that's how it came out by the third one when I did it. So yeah, originally all of my body parts were gonna be sentient cartoon faces, and they were all gonna each react to each part of the process. And they would either talk. It was this development. Oh. So it would be something like that all throughout the episode. Each of them reacting to the cheeseburger they ate while they process it into waste and exit it out. That's supposed to be, I think, my pancreas. I'm not 100% sure, but with my current condition and diabetic, but it's a wink and a nod to that. Did I ever try to top it or add anything new? Let's see. Well, faces, sure, because that's all I had left, because all the movements and faces that I did with the first two, that's all I could do. I think I didn't put rocket ship in though, so rocket ship here. And I give that's what that original version of the character going to the bathroom was gonna be, more for my intestines point of view with cartoon faces and stuff. So that was gonna be like. So that's as much difference as I could do with this. With this episode, I felt like I put a lot of creativity and effort in the first two, but I wanted to add a different level of creativity to the third one, which a lot of explaining and these jokes that I did. And that one hand-drawn animation moment where I go inside my own stomach to talk. Yeah, I've mentioned this before, I'll mention it again. Every drawing frame was all on one paper, one or two papers of sketchbook, first in pencil, then drawn in marker. Erase the outlines, scan them into Toon Boom, lay them out properly, and And that's how it worked. And it came out very smooth. I remember I saw the first couple of takes, and it came out surprisingly smooth. Very well done. One of my favorite animations that I've done. Little hand-drawn animation moments in the series where I just dive my head into there because it goes from the head goes puppet head, but then hand-drawn head, and then folding into myself. So that was actually really fun. Little piece of animation to do. So this was solid trilogy. Season 18, decent season, but I did snag into a big problem. Season 18 is that a lot of the episodes from season 18 were third installments of episodes that existed from the previous season or two. Like I remember how when I started season 16. Excuse me, I'm gonna drink some water real quick. Let me say something real quick about this episode. So this episode, another budget cutback episode, because I needed to do a couple more of those. That was going to be some of the things I was going to do throughout this 50 episode thing, where I would add more budget cutback episodes. This season has 2, apparently, but we'll get to that later. So I was like, okay, one more budget cutback episodes. What were the ones? How about this one, this one, this one, this one, as a toy, as a this, as drawings, as whiteboard, all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, screens. I'll record my computer screen and just move myself around and just improvise and, again, add that template storyline of, I gotta find that money to make this show possible. Oh. So, that's what most of this episode's about. Decent one. Maybe the weakest ones, just because the other alternatives are like better. But we'll get to those later. So what I was saying, season 18, decent season, but it's a little bit unfortunate because I realized by season 18, I was at a lot of them consist of too many sequels from the previous season. Like when I started season 16 in the beginning of 2019, I was like, I want these nice fresh ideas, but I do want to make sequels out of them later. So after season 16, I made the first versions of these kinds of episodes. When I make sequels to them in season 17, I'm like, okay, cool, fine. I'm having a good time with this. By the time I give them another third installment sequel episodes by season 18, it got repetitive. So season 18 felt really repetitive, especially when a lot of them are so many sequels and repeated episodes. That was a problem. That ended up being a problem for not for me. It was fun to make them all, honestly. So I wasn't really complaining that much, but I did realize it's like, ooh, by the time audiences notice, it's gonna be like a little bit of a rut. It's not like I made so many sequels. Well, probably did. It's just I was showing them too much next to each other per season. Like one season you get these funny ideas, next season the same funny ideas, and next season same funny ideas. 10 of them at a time almost. A little bit reorganized here and there, but still, even if they come out entertaining, it's too much. So, real quick on this episode. So, also, I did have to record my camera on my phone. Take the camera on my phone, record it off of my computer screen, and it was all in Toon Boom. And it was actually camera on screen kind of thing. I've seen another YouTuber who draws cartoons and animates do that. And I was like, oh, cool, I want to do that technique on my show. So I did do that. This very nice, well-known cartoonist. So you're seeing, bits and pieces of the animation software. There was some obvious editing and cropping and stuff like that. And improv, but it was one of those even quicker to make episodes. So yes, repeated season, even more repetitive what I'm saying right now, but I end up fixing that by, the last 2 seasons, season 19 and 20, and also I got maybe a couple more episodes in the future, the way I'm going to set up and reorganize the series later on, but we'll get to that later on. But the way he gets enthusiasm or for the show is just so many different ways. Because that's where the real budget of the show comes from enthusiasm. Yeah! So much enthusiasm that it takes so much to put put together. It was hard to do that because I think I handled the computer with my right hand and I'm left-handed and my left hand is controlling the camera. But it was fun. I remember it was pretty fun. A little struggle.
Oh, okay. Well, that was it.
But it came out pretty well.
So much about happiness or friendship or whatever the heck this episode is. But oh well, we saved time and more time for this already small budgeted show. And I want to thank you for watching this episode of the Sergio Show. Low budget edition again.
Just drinking some water.
Again and again. Oh, making cartoons animated is so worth it. Anyway, I am.
Again, a fairly simple episode and a series of episodes that we're going to see more of. I think the next one I'm going to talk about, the next budget cutback episode, is also pretty, yeah, because all the hand poses are in a slider for any of you who don't know. The pin. But yeah, the next budget cutback episode is also a little bit creatively done. Remember, I had to do that in spur of the moment, but fair episode. Oh, this next episode is also too repetitive even for me, but I love the concept of the episode so much, and when I made the first one, I'm like, I gotta do more than 3.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Sergio Show. I'm Sergio, whatever it is. Well, another episode, another year. This wonderful year of 2000 and whatever, and we've done a lot of things, but we're gonna keep going. Let's keep going with another one of my favorite kind of special episodes. Oh yes, it's not the kind of episode where you go forward. It is reversal time. Yay! Now 20% more lazy. Yay! Okay. I'm ready if you are, folks, but it's reversal time.
Sorry, I was doing some audio checking in the middle of this audio commentary. I thought I got everything set up, but my apologies. Anyway, so this episode, obviously a reversal episode. It's a 4th one. So I enjoyed the first one so much. So I decided to make a sequel, obviously. And then I decided to make one more sequel. What is this? Really is a 4th one. So what do I do differently with this one? Oh yeah, this one just has random stuff. I remember. I was like grasping through straws by the 4th one, even though I love it so much. And I'm just having too much fun with the whole reversal thing. And just adding more ideas as much as I can. So yeah, it was just shot after shot and me playing with chickens. Bok bok! Ah, yeah, there's some hand drawnness. I remember, if I'm going to be this simple, might as well have a moment of drawings. And also some callbacks too, obviously. So yeah, probably the weaker ones. Oh yeah, there's another hand-drawn animation moment. I remember making this. I'm like, I'm making this too easy. Let me add something a little bit more. So some hand-drawn effects. But yeah, too much consists of just fairly lazy moments. Yeah, this really hurts this season, honestly. But I like the chickens. Sometimes the chickens are just worth it. Probably not for everybody. I apologize. But oh yeah, the 5th one, but this, I end up rectifying it by the 5th one. When I make the 5th one becomes the final one for sure for a while. At all. Yeah. Oh, I remember there was some technical trouble animating 4 chickens. 4 arms, 4 chickens. I remember it was a technical mess. I was like, why is it difficult to like animate 4 armed chickens? All of them are rigged so much, and yeah, that's why the animation is also very simple, because when I got to put a fourth armed chicken, yeah, something got technically wrong. Like the software and the animation software couldn't handle so many armed chickens, so many chicken arms. Yeah, the episode did become a technical mess. You see, ugh. I remember also at the time doing this, there was technical problems when it comes to exporting this video. Yeah, yeah. I now it's coming back to me. There were problems, technical problems with the chicken and video formats. I kept it in because that's technical error. Actually, it gives it some charm in my opinion because it isn't just me saying have an animated date, signing off like that. So to me that goof is one of the best things that happened to this episode, other than the hand drawn moments and the chickens. So yeah, weird technical moment in that episode, a bit of a mess, but the fifth and final one is better. Ooh, Robot Sergio, this one. Yep. So I do like Robot Sergio. First time he played basketball. Second time he was just in pieces. Here I was wondering what am I going to do in this season. So I was just like, let me just put in some ideas and have some fun with it. I think the first idea I had was actually him meeting Evil Vending Machine, EVM. Because I'm like, okay, in the original universe, EVM existed and he was evil. But I also realized he is like a robot himself, since he's a vending machine, machinery that's sentient, so he is also a robot. So what if he does appear in this universe? Originally he would have his own storyline, but I couldn't think of a good storyline. Good enough storyline. Well, original idea was EVM in the Robot Sergio Toon City universe. He actually is a good guy, and has a crush on another female vending machine robot. And Sergio would, as you know, Robot Sergio would help him make a connection, you know? And that's what the episode was going to be. And I had that thought for a while, but it's just, to me, it didn't work. It didn't work. I'd rather just have him as a cameo callback, which you can see right now. Yeah, I like this. For fans of the show, it's like, oh no, what does this mean? And they're just buddies. Yeah, I thought it'd be funnier that way. In this universe, it's a little bit different. Yeah, I have some used animation here and there, and some characters from previous universes. Was I playing with the pacing here? Yeah, sometimes when I edit an episode, I do change the pacing. Sometimes it's slower, sometimes it's quicker. Sometimes I do have to remember where I'm like, oh yeah, I like to draw cartoons. I have to, if I'm running out of ideas, I gotta remember what I like, which I know what I love. Cartoons, animations, like what can the character do? Well, the character is a cartoonist even in so many different universes. So have the character draw. What kind of gag can you have with drawing? Boom! That character came back. One tap and boom, artwork. I like that joke. I did like that joke. He draws like a printer while that other robot, he's just like that. Oh, another callback. It never worked. I thought that was good. That one was cute. It had callbacks, it had reused animation, but it still came off a little cute and charming. Nice gags. And by this time, I remember for Robot Sergio to sound like a robot, there was an audio effect that I found out later on. So that's why the first one doesn't have that filter. So there you go with that one too. Background is just a image of the original set, through a chrome filter. Simple as that on that one. And it came out pretty well. I do miss EVM, Evil Vending Machine, but I did all that I could with him throughout the series. Taking a little break for now with EVM. Oh, this one. I Go Away. Well, another sequel episode to what started off as an original idea for season 16. But here we are at season 18. So yeah, I wanted to bring like classic Sergio. I knew I was gonna make another sequel with classic Sergio actually, because classic cartoons you can do whatever. So I was like, okay, I gotta for this one. I also have to imagine what situation can a character like this do in this era, and what simple idea that I can imply gags on. I'm like, let's have this character just try different forms of transportation, travel a couple places in different devices. Oh yeah, I love that drawing. I do love. I remember making that drawing. Oof. That image is a callback to a cartoon where I also either landed on a fire hydrant or a character of mine did. The image looks nice. The whole old movie filter is part of the editing software filter. I just animate the whole show black and white, or actually some of it's in color, and just obviously through the old movie filter in the editing software gave me that look. Yeah, of course it would explode after that, because rocket travel didn't happen yet. Oh, a train. Yeah, I remember I did a lot of drawings for this, like setting drawings and cartoon background drawings. And this scene, since it's a train, you gotta have that old story line. That superhero, I remember while I was setting up the scene, I was like, okay, it's gonna have that cliche, but I don't want it to be a superhero animal. But how about this, a superhero that's a weird, ugly abomination of different animals? So it isn't a pig, it isn't a cow, it isn't a horse or whatever. It's supposed to be a weird mix of mutation of multiple different animals, just a different everything. That's actually episode 20 something of the show when I did the classic cartoon reference a long time ago. And I reused it, but I also edited some for legal reasons. So I got the old animation files and re-edited it to avoid copyright reasons and bring up, you've seen this before. So that was the whole joke. Call back and we can't do it again. And this is me just looking like I'm running out of ideas, which I kind of am, but by the end I get it. And I really do love the Bouncing Sergio Studios house. I remember animating that in the first version of the episode. Came out well. Loved it. I love the look and the bounce, and it has this stretchiness. Of course. Well, everything's moving so stiffly, but that's just me. This is me actually really thinking about what should I do next. But I remember, what's next? Planes! And I turned my studio into a plane. I remember thinking about this in the last second. And I also got to remember to add a hole and a band-aid, big ass band-aid on it. So that's how it kind of ends. I was like, oh, how about I do a plane? I do a plane and let's have it here. The propeller animation I made, I remember how simple it was. I was kind of surprised how well that propeller came out, the little animation of the propeller of the plane. Yeah, I was surprised how well done that was. How well it came out. He flies off into the... Oh, he bumped into the sun. I like animating that sun. Yep. I think you just bumped me off camera, son. And there we go. Honestly, very good episode. Very enjoyable episode. It has a lot of funny designs, inspired designs, and some nice gags here and there. So, the next episode, Movie Theater 2. Movie Theater 2! And I haven't seen these episodes in a while. I just make the episode, I put them away, and just hold on to them for release. Scheduled release. But yes, Movie Theater episode. This was a couple of seasons ago. where I was like, I love the movie theater episode when I made it all the way back in 2016. Yeah, late 2016. And I miss it. And I was thinking about other ideas to bring it back. And I'm like, okay, since the first one was experiments that failed, how about kind of experiments that work? I've had a couple of more ideas with the movie theater location. Because I want to explore Toon City more with locations and stuff, which we're going to also get to by, oh yeah, by the end of this season. Yeah, there's one episode I really like that's coming up. So that was the idea. Him going back to the theater to test some new things and it working ultimately. Originally, this was going to be the Animal World episode, the 5th one, but I think I pushed it to the previous season. I was canceling and moving around episodes this season too. I realized in my list originally this was going to be Animal World 5, but I think I did that. I don't think I ever got to do that. Yeah, the 5th one, no. I decided to end up ending it early in the previous season. So I do remember also reorganizing some of these episodes and changing ideas. So I was like, okay, movie theater 2. I like it, and I have ideas, a little bit more ideas. Since movie theaters are trying to give you a more sensory experience, might as well do that. Because movie theaters are trying to make you see more than just one side of the screen. How about you see 360? Well, we have something like that, but we can never really see 360 because we can only see one direction. We cannot really see all around, while screens can make it look like you can see all around. So how about a device that can actually make you see it all at once? But if you have it see it all at once, how can your brain handle that? Because it can only handle that much. So that's where also this helmet thing and how I had this idea, movie theaters need to build more devices to have people enjoy this on a more sensory level. If you're going to make it more sensory, the visuals might as well have equipment for the people to handle it too. So that's the idea. If you're going to make 360 dome-shaped videos, might as well build devices so they can see it properly and have it properly process it through the brain. Excuse me. So that's where the idea came out. You know, that's what the whole idea of movie theaters and these effects in movie theaters have been doing for a while. I need some water. Talking for a while dries the throat a little bit. I had this in my mouth because it, taste also and smell. Yeah. The designs of these are really nice. They're really cute. Like the brain thing and the eyes. I remember when I was drawing the eye thing, I'm like, yeah, it has to be a line, but if it's gonna be like one line pupil, but I want it to still look like a pupil, so that's why there's like little dots and a line. Thought that was pretty clever, I guess. And you need an extra brain to handle that kind of image projected on your head. I didn't bother to animate how it works. It's just a full body suit. When I got to animating this, I'm like, yeah, let's have it like float. Not let's just let it stay there. I do like the blinking. I don't know. I remember the blinking. It is funny. Because if it's gonna be like one 360 eye, might as well have it blink, and it comes off like an awkward blink, but it looks funny. This is like one 360 eye. That was the idea.
So, how was your cinematic experience?
I didn't want to let go of the nostrils flare when I did that. Saying, the nostrils flare looks nice without the device on it.
But overall, better than last time. Great. Thank you for testing again, Sergio.
And I use a robot filter for the movie theater voice because might as well.
Anyway, that's all for this episode of The Sergio Show. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned something about the cinematic experience. I'm Sergio Dominguez, saying...
Is it flickering? No. So this episode came out well too. Yeah, very simple episode. I'm just sitting in the chair enjoying things. But there's a lot of drawings and nice gags in this one too. But again, another sequel episode. But this one was a sequel from something a long time ago. So, fair enough. Maybe I'll do one more where he looks at movie trailers and maybe movie snacks. You know, there are more ideas, you know, coming out of movie theaters these days. So, next one. Ooh, Dinosaur Sergio's back, baby! I like Dinosaur Sergio, obviously. It's me as a dinosaur. But what I like, this third one again. No, wait, what is it? Third one or fourth one? Third one? How did I get lost and how many have I done? Sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, this is the reason why I named it Dinosaur Sergio 4 because I consider the first one that was told story-wise. There's an old episode of the Sergio show where I bring up Dinosaur Sergio as a story, and that's how I count it as one. So this is third out of this era, but it's fourth. Oh, but I love this one. Yeah, this one, it's not as good as the previous, but this one's still good, where I was like, okay, what else dinosaur related can I do with Dinosaur Sergio? And that is dinosaur monsters, weird ones, evolving, developing. I love that one. Oh, and this vlogger thing. I was like, oh, there's a lot of vloggers that are like that and people online. So let's have a dinosaur do that. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was trying to poke fun of dinosaurs in pop culture with this, so that's what this is all about. But a lot of editing, though, because I would just animate simply with a lot of these, and then animate Dinosaur Sergio with different reactions, drawing-wise and stuff, and I would just edit it in. That's a dragon, but... So that's what it was mostly. Oh, yeah, I saw a trailer for a movie, and I decided to have a dinosaur, like, be operatic. And I was like, whoa. I made that music, but I didn't know what to really make, so I was like, let me play the organ or something and just hold some notes and try my best. Make it original, but I remember. That came out well. Yeah, this one had reused animation, but that's how it goes. But yeah. This episode is just different kinds of dinosaur monster looking things. Just being really weird. They're not trying to kill them, it's just they all evolved weirdly. I think the weirdest one I made was the tongue one, other than the opera and vlogger one. Yeah, vlogger one. That one was funny. And the tongue one was probably the worst one. But yeah, that's what this episode was. It's just this time a lot of different designs for dinosaurs. I remember I was drawing a bunch of them. There was like one or two that didn't make it because it didn't look weird enough for timing purposes. But yeah, I was really playing with the timing and pacing with this episode because all that episode is just drawing gags, some hand-drawn animation ones. Because I wanted to still imply hand-drawn animation into the show. So I have a couple of characters here and there be hand-drawn animated. Like, I love that little, like mustached banana peel eyeball looking thing. I remember just animating that slushy slug part and just adding eyeballs until the last second. So yeah, that was a fun episode to just work on in terms of animating editing. Just animate, edit, done. So that was a fun episode. Next one. Oh, is it what I think it is? It's the other whiteboard episode. Well, yeah, bottle budget cutback episode using a whiteboard. Again, I have to rely on my live action filmmaking skills. And try to, even though it's not animated, it's a cartoon, so it counts enough, and the intro and endings. Yeah. So, cartoons are involved in this, somehow, and puppetry. So yeah, whiteboard! So I have a big whiteboard. So so I have a big whiteboard, and I want to do another bottle episode, and I was making a list of, like, what can I do whiteboard, bottle episode wise. So I'm like, oh, I got this whiteboard. You know, it's kind of like sketchbook, but whiteboards, and I have whiteboard, white dry erase markers, and I just worked on that, and it was fairly. I did improvise, where I got a table. I took the whiteboard I had hanging on my wall, and I decided to place it on a table and just shoot it downward instead of doing it on a wall at an angle, because I feel like it's not comfortable for me holding the camera. It won't be comfortable for me the position of my hand. It has to be flat. So if you're seeing, that's my ceiling light. Yeah, my little like ceiling light chandelier thing. So that's how that came to be. Yeah, this is all laying down flat, not on a wall. And me just improvising, and you seeing the reflection. Yeah, reflection of the lamp and all that stuff. But oh yeah, I do like the hangman idea, because I do remember a lot of us do when we have a chalkboard or dry erase board nowadays, or even digital smart boards. If we want to play a game with that, we play hangman, bro. Play hangman. So that's a little nostalgic. So the budget of the show is there. It's just, you need to answer that puzzle to make it happen. And obviously I thought of a really hard puzzle. Let me just... Mm-hmm. And it's funny to see the character design, in different styles. I did have to draw like a maniac for this. And like doing like drawing with whiteboard. And yeah, obviously it looks sloppy, but all my drawings look sloppy when I draw them quick, obviously. With a sketchbook drawing and other stuff. So. Oh yeah, I took that one drawing and just... I did this in random order in order to get some of the drawings there. That's why you see that multiple times in different shots in different parts of the story. So it was a little bit different order I told the story of this budget cutback episode, but still, when I edited it together, it came out pretty well. Yeah, there was just a scene where I was just drawing the person, drawing the letter, and cutting and all that stuff. Still drinking that water. Talking and explaining for this long does that to the throat. But I'm having a good time, like, telling you through my point of view how I make the show in certain episodes and why it happened and how. Oh, the jump edits are really cool. It works. It kind of animates the character a little bit. Gives it a pop. Gives that big old pop. Yeah, this is where editing skills come in, and later on with the budget cutback episodes, editing becomes a bigger thing. When you have no animation, you gotta rely on editing, and I like editing. Yeah, I think the enthusiasm paper is different every time. Awkward pause in an episode of the show. I never would have expected it. That's even better than I expected again. Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll just end the episode right now, right here. Yeah. Well, guys and folks, that's all for this episode of the Sergio Show, which is another budget cutback one, of course. Well, thank you for watching me pinch some more pennies and doing the best I can to keep the show going. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I am Sergio Dominguez, saying, got an animated... Yeah, some episode... Wait, what was that? Was that a bug? Something got in the way. I think it was like a bug on the face. I'm not sure. Last second, but... Yeah, this episode was fair. It was fairly entertaining. I think my favorite budget cutback episode is the one in season 20 and the one next season. The one next season was fun. So yeah, a lot of these have their fun moments. This was fairly fun. But the better one is next season and even the season after that. So where are we now? Toon City Tour 2. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, in 178, the previous Whiteboard episode originally was going to be another Animators Bar episode, but I didn't have any ideas at the time, so I changed it for this. So, with episode 179, the episode you're watching right now, in commentary form, originally it was going to be another stop motion special, but I think I reorganized it. Did I? Yes, I did. I rescheduled it for season 19. Because I didn't... Because I was trying to buy something in order to improve my stop motion skills. Or to work on the stop motion a lot better. So I rescheduled it for season 19. And it would work very well. I'll explain it in commentary for season 19, hopefully. So for this episode then, if it wasn't going to be that episode, what is it going to be? I had a while of thinking. I remember I was thinking for a while of thinking. So I was just thinking, okay, what's the episode going to be? What kind of episode do I have? Because all the other ideas for episodes are already scheduled. So I am stuck with this blank thing right here. Oh, I like that drawing. So yeah, real quick on the joke. I want to do a flying joke. And this is a good way to bring back something that was not from the show, but adjacent from the show, from 30 episodes of the Sergio show. That casino is a very nice casino that I drew because I do love casinos, and later on in the series I would make a casino episode, which you will see later on in season 19. So that is a casino that will appear later in the series, and I made that. So, yeah, the reason why this episode exists is because I did a Toon City Tour episode a long time ago, and I was like, I want to do it again. Because, episode 179 got changed. So I was like, okay, what episode can I do? What episode can I do? I'm like, well, I've done a tour episode before, but I have these new Toon City locations that I've drawn over the years that I never got to put on the show. So I'll do another Toon City Tour episode, but it'll be much funnier. We'll have more gags. We'll have more buildings, more locations. It will obviously be a lot better. And it is better than the first. The first one was too much of a mistake. Realized too much on padding, not enough jokes. This one got to rectify it. So obviously another sequel episode, but this is the kind of sequel episode that hasn't been done in a long time. I love the uppity gas joke. I love how well that was animated. I drew a gas station, a couple of drawings of a Toon City gas station, and I thought if this was a bit cartoon, how would he feel? And I'm like, gas, explosive, all that stuff, it would be panicky. So I love how it came out. Voicing wise and character and the way it spoke and all that stuff. I love that human car. I love it. The big problem is I wanted this place to look busy, and that's the best I could do. And that's the best I can do. I took a lot of pre-existing characters and from other cartoons in the show that I've saved in my library and put it on and just do some shots like that. And I also had to make a quick list of like locations in Toon City that I wanted to make. Casino, bank, building. I drew a bank before. Banks are boring, so I made it look dull. So that was the idea. It was a lot of improv, very quick to put together because I was like, oh no, gotta get us to the show soon. So that's how it happened. But I like how Sergio, I'm on the traveling device of the future. So I do love that. Yep, also some callbacks. Gotta bring up the existence of these things. Yeah, I wanted to explore the place that the show exists in, and that is Toon City. Which I found out later on is from there's an animation production studio with that same name. I bring it up a little bit on the show. Yeah, I did not find out until years later. So now I'm stuck with this name that exists, but hopefully everybody's okay. Yeah, when I did the tour, I wanted to think of a lot of jokes. So there was a lot of fourth wall, a lot of callbacks, a lot of foreshadowing, I guess. But it came out better than the first one. But the first one, I was like, oh, let me make some jokes, kind of make it 10 minutes long for some reason, for my own goals. So here I was more laid back, but also still wanted to put some more creativity to it. which worked. It came out surprisingly well. This was a quick last minute in the moment kind of episode. Didn't plan it as well compared to the other episodes. It came out really good. I love Eppley Gas. I like the designs of a lot of the buildings. And later on in the series too. So I'm glad Toon City is getting more of a presence in the series because I felt like it didn't get enough. Because it was focusing on myself and the characters, but, you know. Oh yeah, add a last minute gag of the character. Of the thing going crazy. So, surprisingly good episode. A lot of good jokes. A lot of good designs. Maybe those shots of Toon City could have been better, but a lot of pre-existing things I had to just put together real quick. Pre-drawn drawings, assets, all that stuff being put together as best as possible. Good episode. Ooh, this one. So this episode, we're in the season finale already. And for this episode, it is an episode. No, I'm sorry. I'm just checking something. So for this episode, originally it was going to be a casino episode. No, it actually wasn't. It was originally going to be a bowling episode where me and my friends are going to go bowling. An idea where me and my friends go bowling has been an idea that I've been holding on for a while. That was going to be episode 180, but then I crossed it out and I'm like, okay, I'm going to push that later on. I can't think of anything at the moment. So I'll just push it. So let's do Toon City Casino. Like I said before, but even then I'm like, you know what, $2,000, don't want to get to it. I'm going to push it for next season, which would be the season finale for next season. So I'm like, oh, what else? How about end credits? Because, you know, a lot of movies these days have end credits for something bigger and more serious. So I think this was an improvised episode also. Yeah, a lot of improvise, yeah, as you can see. So I was like, okay, let's have the episode start off fairly simple, but most of the episode is just end credits of something that doesn't make sense. Like, oh my god, end credits, what's gonna happen? All he did was draw a circle and all these serious things are happening. So yeah, that's all for this episode of The Sergio Show. No, I'm kidding. But just in case, thank you. I'm just gonna say it right now in this moment. Thank you very much for watching this commentary for Season 18 of The Sergio Show. I am Sergio Dominguez, saying have an animated day. Now that I got that out of the way, let me continue with this. So yeah, I still needed to this had a lot of drawings, and I feel like I was behind production-wise. So what I did in this episode is that I held back on the lip sync a little bit. Yeah, I think so.
I drew a circles and
Yeah. For production reasons, the mouth animation is a little bit weak in this one because it just went straight to the process of just having Toon Boom animated, and I just let it go. I would because for a long time to do lip sync, I would let Toon Boom do it, and it would automatically set the mouse for me and pick the mouse, but it didn't come out looking fluid or accurate to the mouse. Sent noises every frame. So from episode 100 or 101 onward, I would look over it along with Toon Boom, so it can still come out well with more mouse shapes and stuff. But it would take a while, so I was like, okay, I'm going to have to do one episode where I hold back on that. And that's this episode. So this episode has some weak mouth animation, maybe some moments where you see the t sound, the closed teeth sound, but I had to hold back on that because a lot of things were going on this episode, and I had other episodes to work on. So yeah, there was some holdback to this episode production-wise, and that was just the mouth animation. You do get to see more characters here and effects and stuff like that portal. Excuse me. Water. What am I waiting for? Yeah, whenever the character is also front view or just overall moving its arm all the way up, either halfway up or all the way up. That shoulder drawing, that shirt shoulder drawing, has to change too, and I realized that later on. Because it comes off awkward when it's just the same shape, even when you move it up. It, even though the show is fairly stiff as can be, but I had to make more like shoulder shirt drawings, so it doesn't come off that whole shape even when the arm is up. So that was something I had to realize and work on throughout the rest of the series. When it's front view or even side view, when it shrugs and arms up, it has to be a new drawing. Yeah, I try to put in still a little bit of effort in the mouth animation, but it's just the sounds. So that's why it sounds. That's why it looks a little bit off to the mouth animation lip sync. The colors look vibrant, but I think it is the quality of exporting and stuff from the video, because I had a long time struggling. Like that monster I drew it a couple times. Yeah, I didn't like the thing. I should have cut it, but I'm like, let me keep that and put a kind of a mouth drawing and see how that works. Still came off a little bit off, but yeah, it's fine. I do like that monster. I did have to rig it too. Yeah. But I had to simplify its lip sync, since it was just a growling monster that nobody's heard of that I just designed. Might as well cut it back, but I like how it is designed. Big arms and tiny feet. And flesh colored, apparently. Kind of flesh colored. I add gradient, so there's a little bit of gradient gray to the flesh color to make it a little bit more different. So that is funny. It came out well. Agent something something. Will he ever learn?
You have to understand, what I just made is an episode of me drawing a circle. That's it. You guys just be in awe and then move on with your lives until the next episode, or enjoy my previous episode. Other than that, that's it. That's it. You know, I don't want to.
Yeah, I do like how the monster is designed. Very simple but very well done. Yeah, the colors here are vibrant. I think it's the way I exported it. Because there was a struggle for a long time, like what kind of video format is going to be exported. It will be QuickTime, but QuickTime exported to Windows Movie Video, WMV. I do like the last minute gag of how each of them like disappear. Yeah, this was improvised with a lot of like simple gags, but came out well. Might as well make Aiden something poof away. It works. It works. You didn't expect it. And I didn't want to animate him walking. That's why he came in very stiffly.